Michael, we've got a question come from a Brand New Citizen blog about what does Fairtrade entails. Some of us know what it is, but many don't. Perhaps you could shed some light on the details. And you know, we talk about money, but what's the real impact for farmers? How's this money going to really help farmers in Ghana and elsewhere?
Yeah, thanks, Alison. I think this is great news for many farmers in Ghana in terms of the benefits that will go to them in Fairtrade. Already we have trailblazers like Ivan who have been working with farmers in Ghana over the last 10 years. And farmers have seen the benefits of Fairtrade in their communities in terms of schools that have been built, in terms of clinics, in terms of maternity wards for women. We think that these are really, really crucial life-saving issues, and Fairtrade is just going there to improve improve livelihoods for farmers. What this means again is that it's going to expand the range for many producers, and in terms of scaling up, that's moving from around 45,000 farmers at the moment to probably over 100 or moving to 200,000 farmers in the next couple of years, and we think that is great. I mean, I'm thrilled. I think that many farmers will be happy as well. Yeah. What it does actually mean again is that we are going to triple the amount of money that goes into communities from around 600,000 a year, dollars, I mean, to about $2 million, and probably increasing from there. So I think this is really, really great for many farmers. And I can only be happy at this time that this is the right time, especially when we are talking about credit crunch. You can see what it means for farmers in the developing world already. If we are crying here, then they might as well be wailing already. And I think that we need to just get on with this.
Great. In fact, we were out in Ghana, or the three of us together actually, in September, and Michael took us to one of the pineapple farms out in Ghana that you've been working with. So we visited that. It was quite... Perhaps, I don't know if you want to tell us a bit about the work you've been doing.
Well, absolutely. That was a fantastic trip. I mean, to have Cadbury on board and to show them the work I was doing in Ghana for 2 years, the past 2 years, that's from 2006 to 2008, it's amazing. And I think the difference, what we saw on the field, is how lives have been empowered, how democracy is working within communities, how farmer groups are taking their own development in their own hands, which is not like a big brother kind of thing, but farmers are saying, this is our life, this is the way we want to develop. And that's exactly how it's going to go. And just to expand a bit on Fairtrade, what it means, I think it will be interesting for many people to understand the details of what we are doing. The aim of Fairtrade is to improve livelihoods for producers in the developing world. So you might not see farmers in the developed world benefiting, but what we mean is that we are saying is that farmers from the developing world do not have the say in what is happening in the world economy, and their only means or their only voice in the system is actually through Fairtrade. So promoting Fairtrade means that you are improving livelihoods in these communities. It means that they are able to sell at a minimum price, which means that when prices go down, they have a safety net to be able to sell their products and to feed their families, to put food on the table and to put children in school. What it also means is that we promote democracy within these organizations so that everybody, including women, have a say within the organizations. And we think that is very important for these communities. What it means also is that environmentally, they are sustainable. We are all talking about global warming, climate change. Everybody has impact on this, and we think everybody must contribute to that process. And farmers in developing countries are actually contributing to that process through Fairtrade, making sure that their production systems are sustainable, making sure chemicals that they are using are actually not overused, or they are actually not using it at all if possible. And we think that these are issues that concerns all of us, whether in the developed world or in the developing world, and we think that this is fantastic.
Yeah, that's great. And Lucy, you were on the trip, so I don't know if there was anything that really struck you, visiting the cocoa farms and meeting the farmers.
Absolutely. I think for me it was a bit of a real tipping point actually, because we've been working with you guys for a couple of years and we do a lot of work out there, but actually going out there and seeing what Fairtrade is delivering in these communities, what we saw on the pineapple farms, the empowerment of farmers and the real improvement to their lives, it just made me absolutely 100% determined that we do this and that it was the right thing to do.
It's great, it's great. And Michael actually arranged for me to meet some copper farmers as well recently who are already Fairtrade certified, and it was great to see how the women were really, really empowered and were really proud of the trade that they had with cocoa. And they also really proudly showed me the new toilet facilities that they built in the village, and I think it's great to see the what we take as for granted here, that actually for those farmers, they were able to use their Fairtrade premium to actually raise the standard of life for sort of people in that village. So it was great to see.
Yeah,
that.
I mean, just to add on that, I think Alison may be mentioning premiums, but premiums are just additional money that goes to producers as a result of putting the label on the product. So what this means is that if you see the Fairtrade label on Cadbury Dairy Milk, it also means that part of that money goes back to communities for development. And just to come back a bit on what the premiums are being used for in terms of community development. I mean, it's amazing to know what Kwapa Cocoa has done with their premiums. I mean, they now have a cooperative union, and which means that they can borrow money from this union without the high interest rates that pertains in Ghana, for example. So farmers are getting loans at an interest rate of about 8%, which is something we get in the developing world, which doesn't exist in the developing countries. Again, you have a farmer training program that ensures that yields are being improved in their community. So we think that if we extend such a model to many other producers in Ghana, it does actually help them. They improve yields and also make higher income from their productive activities.
That's great. And this really is where we saw that the work that the Fairtrade Foundation are doing in Ghana really aligns with the work we're doing through the Cocoa Partnership. And clearly we know in Ghana that yields are in decline. The trees are quite old in Ghana, and the soil fertility is now not as good. So we need to help farmers apply fertiliser correctly, perhaps use different types of trees that crop better. And this is some of the work that we hope to do together with the foundation, so that we can really dramatically improve incomes for farmers.
So I think what you're saying basically, or what we are saying in a nutshell, is that we are extending a model that has been working, or that has proved to work with small producers, bringing them together, working together for their own livelihoods, extend it to many other farmers to make sure that the benefits are shared on a larger scale, and many farmers come into it. They ensure sustainable livelihoods in the future, because we think that as well, that in Fairtrade, one of our aims is to make sure that they have sustainable livelihoods. And if we can extend this to many other farmers, improve their productive activities and get more money from it, that means that children can go to school, women can have good care in terms of maternity, and food on the table for many families. I think that is absolutely fantastic.
But what's really great is that by working with Michael and the certification team, that we'll actually be bringing those 100 communities up to the Fairtrade standards. So we'll be working with some farmers this year, and then more will come into the system as a great result.